comfortable.
I'm recording. So you
No,
feel good on the QC, Marlene? You feel pretty
yeah,
comfortable?
yep.
Okay, Mike, how do you feel on the QC? Are you kind of still
I
indifferent
know
or
it, but I haven't used it enough. I got to use it more to get more comfortable with it for sure.
yeah, for sure.
So my problem is I got to make appointments to talk to people to do a
Mine,
QC.
yeah, that's mine too.
Me too. We're all in the same boat, guys. That's
Okay.
the good news and the bad news. I hate to break it to us. Um, so just think about it this way. I'm recording this for a reason because I'm going to actually put this in the chat at some point today or tomorrow. But I want to talk about the QC first because I want to jump into the kitchen table and I'll explain why I'm focused on the kitchen table. The QC is pretty direct. All you have to remember is you're making the phone call. I'm calling Mike Murphy up. He's the cold market person that I found on Facebook, social media, ZipRecruiter, wherever, okay, that we didn't interact in person. This is an online thing, okay? I'm calling Mike Murphy. I'm introducing, hey, Mike, this is Rob Lefevere. You scheduled an appointment with me for a quick phone call to see if we had a mutual interest in working together. Did I catch you at a good time? He's going to tell me yes, okay? Or he may tell me no. Most times, 99.9%, it's always yes. Hey, good. Hey, listen, Mike, just to let you know, I'm going to keep this between 8 and 9 minutes to benefit both of our schedules here. Just again, want to learn a little bit about you. Is it okay if I ask you a few personal questions to kind of get to know you a little bit better? Mike's going to tell me yes. So at that point, I'm going to say, hey, Mike, what are you currently doing for work? Because I want to know what he is doing for work. Mike's going to tell me, hey, I work in sales, I sell cars, whatever he's doing, blah, blah, blah. And I say, hey, that's pretty cool. How long have you been doing that? I'm asking that question because I want to know if he has any kind of a track record, right? It tells you a little bit about, he's not a guy that jumps to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. He's been there for a little bit. So he's going to give you that info. I'm taking a mental note, preferably writing it down because you're on the call. They can't see you. And then I asked the next question, like, hey, Mike, really appreciate that. Now, real quickly, tell me a little bit about your family life. Are you married? You got mom, dad, sister, brothers? Do you have any children at all? Tell me a little bit about your family dynamic. I'm asking that because I want to know what he has to work for. Okay, if he has kids and a wife at home and maybe a parent or whatever, he's got to work and make money. So I want to know that. So Mike's going to give me that information. The other thing is I want to know what his market looks like. Mike's married. Hey, guess what? He's a candidate for life insurance, him and his wife. He's got small children at home. He's got siblings. Okay. His siblings are probably married, maybe have kids, maybe not. Your parents, it gives me an idea. Maybe they're still in market. They could be under 65, preferably under 55. Then they're really definitely in market. But it's giving me a lay of the land of what his immediate market's going to look like. He might say, I got cousins all over, Michigan. Hey, that's awesome. Guess what? That's more people for us to talk to. So I'm getting that information. Then I say, hey, Mike, listen, you saw my ad somewhere on social media. As you've seen in there, we work in the finance space. I know it's pretty broad. What we do primarily is we help people with their income protection, their life insurance. We help them make sure that they have the right type and the right amount of life insurance in place. The second thing that we do is we help them with their investments. If they have some investments in place, great. We'll take a quick peek to make sure that those are performing at a level that they like for retirement age. If they don't have anything set up, then obviously we try to help them get something in place for later on in life when they plan to, retire, which is very important. But Mike, I'm going to tell you what I feel is the very probably the most important thing that we offer people is we offer them a complimentary financial plan. Out of curiosity, Mike, have you ever sat down with a financial advisor? He's probably going to tell me no. Most people say no. Say, very good. Well, Mike, let me tell you, if you sat down with somebody from like an Edward Jones or a Merrill Lynch, typically they charge somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500 to put together a plan. You would agree that that's probably why most people probably haven't sat down with a financial advisor. He's going to say, yeah, absolutely. And say, so we offer that complimentary for people that are clients of ours. So if you're doing business with us, we offer that plan to you free of charge. Now, you would admit that that would be pretty important, right? That's pretty important to sit down with a financial advisor and make sure that you know where you're going in the future, right? You can retire with grace and not have to, pick up a secondary job, with your Social Security. He's going to agree with that and say, so, well, that's what we do. And now, Mike, because we do work with money and finances, does require a couple things. A, you have to obtain a license. The good news is, Mike, if you've been to college, right? Or have you gone to trade school? Yeah or no? Okay, you know somebody that's been to college? Yes. Okay. So when they go to college, usually they have to, if they're, unless they're very fortunate and they have parents that are funding their college education, 9 times out of 10, they have to take a student loan of some type, right? Yep. Okay. So same thing here. The good news is we're going to provide that student loan to you free of charge. Okay. We're going to pay for that, but it's for the right person, and we got to make sure that we're the right fit for each other. So, Mike, in addition to, obviously us covering $3,500 in licensing expenses, you have to be able to pass a state and federal background check. Mike, I would assume that would not be a problem for you, right? He's going to tell me it wouldn't be a problem. Fantastic. And at that point, I'm going to go right into the close. I'm going to go right into let's get him on the appointment. So, Mike, let me ask you this. Typically speaking, um, what days work best for you? For you and I to get together for about 45 minutes on Zoom for a formal interview. What would be the best time? And he'll tell me they always generally say, oh, Fridays after 5, during the week after 5, 6 o'clock, whatever. I go right into my calendar, right on the spot, right on Calendly. I now they have it set up where you can take the QC call and you can set up the follow-up meeting. So I can set it up for a bit. You can set it up the same way as a business opportunity meeting, a Zoom. And I schedule it right there. I don't wait. I don't send them the link anymore. Like, hey, go on, pick a time that works best for you. Nope. I'm scheduling it. Hey, Mike, does Friday at 6 o'clock work good? Yeah, Rob, it works great. Hey, Mike, tell you what, I'm going to send you a link via text when we hang up. Shoot me a text back once you receive it that you got it, so I know that you got it. Also, it's going to come into your email as well. Okay. If there's any changes between now and then for any reason, please call me. Don't text me or email me. Just call me and let me know. If there's a change that needs to be made to the schedule, just call me back with a better date and time when you do that so I can schedule it right away. Once you do that, you've got that commitment. You got that commitment. You planted the seed that this is important and that they need to be on. And if there's a change, they need to give you an alternative date, not, hey, I need to reschedule with you. We'll talk next week. No, you'll never get back on the appointment. When you call me back and you need to change the appointment, that's fine. Just give me a better date and time that works.
Hey, Rob,
Yes.
you didn't do the QC script that you just sent me.
I
You
know
did-
I did it. I did it. I did
But
it
I
outside.
like it better than the QC script you just sent me.
Yeah.
Very honestly.
Well, that's because I've mastered that and I took it and made it my own. Even though that is my own, I wrote that original QC script. I just
Uh-huh.
took the first half of the recruiting script and broke it off.
Uh-huh.
I split the recruiting script in half. But
Yeah.
I've mastered it so to a point now where I don't even need to think about it. Sometimes I'll even ask them in there, like, hey, Mike, I know you're looking for part-time spare time, right? And he'll say, yeah, I'm looking for 10, 12 hours a week or whatever he's looking for. I'll say, hey, Mike, if you could make an extra 15 to say $2,500 a month on the side, in addition to what you're doing, you wouldn't find a downside to that, would you? And he's going to tell me no. Who would, right? Who's going to say, oh, yeah, that's terrible? No, they're going to say, yeah, that's awesome. Sometimes I do that too. So master the skeleton and then make it your own.
Okay, gotcha.
Because yeah, it wasn't verbatim to that paper you got in your hand, Marlene, but everything I said.
See me, I'm looking, I'm going, where the hell is he getting that from? All right, I got it.
But if you go back and listen to this audio that we're recording and you read that, you'll see I hit every one of those points.
Yeah.
I just tweaked a few words here and there. That's
Yeah.
all I did. So
Yep.
it's just to be duplicatable. That's all.
Yeah, I liked it.
And then the next thing is once you set that, you get into the recruiting script, the actual recruiting script itself when you get on Zoom. And then we're just going really kind of rehashing real quickly what we talked about on the phone, the 124 licensing deposit. We're talking about the background checks. You want to make sure you reiterate that, like, hey, Mike, when we talked on the phone, I mentioned to you, like, if this is a good fit for you and it's going to work out, we're going to have to do that 124 licensing deposit, the fully refundable licensing deposit of the 124 today. I do that because I don't want to get on Zoom if they don't get paid till Monday or Friday and it's Monday. I want to do it one time. I don't want to make this three conversations. I want to make it one and a half because I consider the call a half a call. It's only 9 minutes really to run it. But I don't want to keep getting on Zoom like, okay, I'll reschedule. I mean, we can do that and we do that, but I'd like to make that very few and far between. I like when I get on Zoom and I sell Mike. Mike's excited about the opportunity. He wants to pull the trigger. I don't want any downtime for him to go talk to his broke cousin Larry in the basement. Or some idiot at work that's telling him, oh man, it's a pyramid. Or why do you want to go do that? Or why would you want to go work anywhere else? That's stupid. People are always going to be in your ear. So we got a limited window to close that IBA. Because a lot of times, if you don't close them on the IBA the first time, unless they're 100% being sincere and people bull crap all the time about why they don't have the money, you're gonna lose them. I just had two people this week I scheduled for biz ops that are one girl yesterday, nurse, never respond after I sent her a message like, hey, did you get my link? Blah 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 blah. Nothing. Guy last week, same thing. It's like I call and confirm. If you don't confirm with me in the morning, I shoot you a text or I give you a call. Typically, I text them, like just confirming our 2 o'clock. If they don't confirm, I don't even get on. I just move to the next one. I'm not wasting any time. Tire kickers don't fly here. Go kick somebody else's tires, not mine. Don't worry about it. Just keep moving. And then when you get into, like I said, getting into the recruiting script, you're rehashing that part from the call real quickly, 30, 60 seconds, 90 seconds if you're a little long-winded. And then you're going to get into the how we start people off. Now, we used to do 3 learning tracks. I don't do that. We just get into exactly the way the script is. Hey, we're looking for part-time people starting off. If you decide that you want to do more hours, that's totally up to you. We're looking 10 to 15 hour commitment. We're going to get you out into the field. We're going to do some field training. I go through the whole spiel. You guys have the scripts. I sent it to everybody this morning.
Mhm.
Get familiar with it because we're going to start getting into that every week. We're going to start really drilling these scripts over and over again, almost to nauseam. But you got to get masterful. If you want to be a pro, you got to be a pro. Pros run reps. We're pros. So, all right, let's get into the KT real quick because I want to do that. Let me share my screen. All right, y'all see my screen, right?
Mhm.
All right. So I broke this down into segments, right? Because I am the worst at memorization. I promise you can combine everybody on this team together, and I'm still worse than all you combined. I am the worst with memory of a script is like my kryptonite. Swear to God, I don't know why. It just is. So I broke it down into segments. You'll see the top is company credibility, Forbes magazines, the next section, what we do, the financial needs analysis. Do you have a plan? That's the next section. And that's a little larger. And then the last one is great. Let's schedule a time to get that done. Okay. So there's several sections here. So what I'm doing is focusing, even though I know a good chunk of this without even thinking about it, let's start from the top. So when I'm on, like, let's say I'm field training Mike Murphy and Mike, we're talking to your aunt Marlene, that she's your aunt, she's on a training call with us. So starting this off, we would do, you guys remember from the weekend, what did Mario say? Edification's better than any presentation, right? So Mike would edify me to Marlene, his Aunt Marlene. He would say, and I'll do it for you, Mike. This is what it would sound like. Hey, Aunt Marlene, how are you? And then she would
I'm
respond,
good.
awesome. Yeah, play along with me, Marlene. All
Okay.
right. Hey, thanks, Aunt Marlene, for jumping on with us. I want to introduce you to my field trainer. His name is Rob Lefevere. He's a senior regional field trainer in our business. He's actually got about 13 years of experience, so I'm excited to be working with Rob. He's been doing an awesome job teaching me so many things so fast. So I just wanted to give a quick introduction to Rob. And Rob, go ahead and take it away.
Nice to
Boom.
meet you, Bob.
Hey, thanks, Marlene. Appreciate you. I hear a lot of good things about you. Mike was ranting and raving about you. And then,
He's a good kid.
yeah, he's a character. I tell you, he's fun to work with. We're having a ball. He's learning, picking up everything really quickly. Just really, in tune with what he needs to do. So it's really exciting to work with Mike. So now, at the same time, now I'm edifying Mike. I'm praising the hell out of Mike to his aunt. Hey, he's sharp. He's really trying. And then I go into like, okay, so Aunt Marlene, I'm gonna call you Aunt Marlene too. Is that okay?
Sure, that's
Uh,
good.
all right, Aunt Marlene. So listen, so Mike, I don't know if he explained to you exactly what we're doing here, but I kind of want to give you just a lay of the land real quickly before we get started. We're not here first and foremost to sell you anything. What we're really looking to get out of this, Marlene, is really twofold. We're looking to get your approval that you see the benefit in what we do. And B, we're hoping at the very least that you see so much benefit in it that you would become a great referral source for Mike, because that's how we work in our industry. It's sales, right? And there's no better lead in the sales business than a warm market referral from somebody you love. So we're hoping to gain that from you today. So again, we're going to keep you 15, 20 minutes. You may have a few questions, so maybe run over an extra 5 or so minutes. But we're going to do this just as if we were presenting to, a completely different, a stranger. Okay, is that fair?
Sure, that's good.
Okay. So now at that point, I'm going right into the script. So Marlene, we broker with a company called PFS. Out of curiosity, have you heard of us?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So that's pretty common. We don't advertise like State Farm or Merrill Lynch or any of those other firms, so it's very common. So for 20 years, we were a city company. You're probably familiar with like Citibank or Citigroup, right?
Yep, yep, I am.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were their advisory arm subsidiary. And in 2010, we actually spun off and went public. Our stock sold for about $15 a share when we went public. And right now, our stock's a little over $300 a share. That's actually higher, Marlene, than Apple, Nike, and Tesla right now, currently. And where we are headquartered in Duluth, Georgia. So, out of curiosity, Marlene, are you familiar with Forbes magazine?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, so they ranked us among the most trustworthy financial companies in North America and one of the best places for women to work in 2024. They also awarded us their Delbar Award for 21 consecutive years. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with that or not, but that's
No.
an award that's given to companies that exceed customer expectations.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's really good. So we also hold an A+ rating with the both the Better Business Bureau and AM Best, and they evaluate financial companies based on their strengths and their credit worthiness of insurance companies, and report on about 16,000 companies in total. So you would agree that's pretty impressive, right?
Yeah, it sounds really good.
Yeah. So right now, 40 to 50,000 families a month are switching their um, See, this is where I screwed up because I reworded this. So 40 to 50,000 families a month are switching some aspect of their finances over to our company. So at PFS, Marlene, we have two jobs. First, we teach people how money really works so they can save money on their taxes, their insurance, and invest in their future goals like retirement, their children's college tuition, or maybe even starting a business. And then second, we help people get out of debt faster. You're probably wondering how we do that, I would imagine, right?
I would want to know.
Yeah, for sure. So we do that using a tool called the financial needs analysis, or FNA. The best way to think about a financial needs analysis is you compare it to like a GPS. Suppose you were taking a road trip to Los Angeles, Marlene. You'd probably enter your destination into your Google on your phone, correct?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, you just wouldn't head west, right?
I hope not. I'd
Yeah.
get lost.
That's right. So you'd probably get to your destination, Marlene, if you're great at following road signs, but more than likely, you're probably going to make a ton of wrong turns and waste a lot of time. So everyone understands the importance of having a plan for their 3-day road trip, but ironically, most people don't apply that same logic when it comes to planning their financial future. Most people are kind of simply just doing the best they can with what's available to them through work, and unfortunately, honestly, Marlene, some people do nothing at all. which you would agree that that doesn't help anybody, right?
No, sure doesn't.
So out of curiosity, Marlene, do you have a written plan that shows you how to get out of debt faster, which insurances are best, and how to save more efficiently? Or are you like
No,
most people?
no, I just go to work every day and pay my bills, and that's it.
I totally understand. I was that way too for a long time. So you don't have a written plan right now. You would
No,
agree, right, that having a plan is better than not having one, correct?
yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
All right, so I'll tell you what. So you've been so gracious to give us some of your time today. What I'd like to do, and Mike would like to do, this would help him out. It's like we'd like to set up a time to put that plan together for you. Now, according to Consumer Reports, the average financial planner, they charge somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500 to put together a written plan based on your unique situation. But again, Mike and I will do that for you free of charge. Now, because we do it for free, I'm going to ask you for two things in return, Miss Marlene. When I create a plan that helps you get out of debt faster, save more efficiently, and better protect your family while costing you the same or less than you're currently spending, and only if you agree that the plan benefits you and is a clear improvement, will I ask you for will I ask you to refer me to 3 to 5 married people with kids, a home, a job that may find the same benefit that you did, and I'll ask you to move forward with the recommendations I made. Now, before you answer, Marlene, if you see the plan, you say, "Hey, Rob, I knew all this. It didn't make any sense to me. You were really pushy. Your breath smelled bad for any reason. You didn't see value in what we did for you." Mike and I are not going to ask you to give us any referrals or move forward with any of the recommendations that we made. Is that fair?
There.
All right, fantastic. So let's get a time scheduled in your calendar. I'm going to need about 20 to 30 minutes. I'm going to have a short list of things that you'll need to gather. Most of you know off the top of your head, but I'm going to email that to you. Do you have a good email address that I could send this over to?
I sure do.
Awesome. So now I'm going to take your email. When you take the email, you want to make sure that you verify the email because you can hear things. We're on Zoom. So keep in mind, you might hear something that you didn't hear. So make sure that you got the corrected email. When they give it to you, repeat it back and make sure you got it correct. That's very, very important. So once you secure the email, you say, hey, don't worry. Most of it you're going to know off the top of your head, which they will. It's the stuff they pay monthly, so they know it for the most part. So, what days generally work best for you, Marlene? Weekdays or weekends?
Weekends.
Weekends, okay.
Yeah,
I have availability on Sunday at 2. Would that be good?
yeah, that'll work.
Okay. So now I got that commitment from her. I'm going to schedule her in my calendar, whether you're using Calendly or you're putting in your calendar, whatever the case may be. Now you want to encourage them to do the same. Now, if you're using Calendly, keep in mind, still have them put it in their calendar and write it down wherever they keep their schedule of their appointments. But remember, Calendly, you're going to send them a text message. Okay. You're going to send them that link by text. They're also going to get it to their email. So I always say, hey, Marlene, probably sometime today, you're going to get a text message and an email with the same information. So you have it. So if you lose it, just remember it's in your text message or your email. Okay.
Okay.
And then I tell them the day of that I will confirm with them the day of. I'll send them a message as a reminder as well. Um, and now that I got that established, now I say, hey, Marlene, there's a few things I'd like from you tonight, if possible. Out of curiosity, do you have any statements from a past employer or any retirement assets? I'd like to research them to see if there's anything, any better options out there for you.
Okay.
Okay. She's going to say, yeah, she does, or no, she doesn't. Okay. The reason we ask for that is because that's setting up for the investment business. If she says, yeah, I got an old 401k that's at my old job, or yeah, I'm in a 401k at my new job, she may have a statement or something. If you can get that, that's great because once you become securities licensed, now you've opened up your securities business. If you're not securities licensed, you can take that and go back to Coop or whoever you want that's got investment licenses and you can get them plugged in with Coop after you close the IBA or after you close the Life app. Okay. And then the last thing is this, the last thing I want to do quickly with you is review today what you currently have set up for life insurance. You do have life insurance, right?
Uh, yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, who do you have your life insurance through by chance?
Uh, let me think about this. I think New York Life, and I think I can't remember. Oh, Mutual of Omaha. I
Mutual of
just kept,
Omaha.
yeah,
I
Omaha.
got you.
Yeah.
Now, she gave me the gold. She told me where she has her life insurance. She has two policies for two different companies. You're going to want to find out what she has. Okay, does she know what she has? You got a whole life policy, a term policy, and then what she pays. And preferably if she has the policies on hand. And so I would say, hey, Marlene, that's fantastic. What are you paying right now for your life insurance policies? Do you know off the top of your head?
I know. You don't want to know what I'm paying at my age.
Oh,
But
wow.
remember, Rob, I'm the one that can't buy insurance for myself
Yeah.
because I'm too old.
Well, in this case, you wouldn't be. In this case, we'd still look at your policy, right? So at that point, I would say, "Hey, Marlene, do you have that handy by chance that you could take a picture of it and send me up so I could take a look at it?" And she's gonna
Yeah.
tell me yes or no or whatever. If she does, great, get it. If she knows what she's paying and she knows what she has, and then if she can't find the policy, you still go for the close at that point. You're going to explain to them what they have, and then you're going to explain to them ours. You're going to go through our options and how ours covers us till age 100. It's a level premium going straight across the board. Your price never changes. It does go to a decreasing term after, third 25, 30, 35 years or whatever it is that they set up for. And you're just going to close them. Do the A diagram, take the app, boom, done. And I may tell her like, hey, Marlene, let's get it underwritten, okay, before you cancel any of your policies at New York Life or Mutual Omaha. You don't want them to cancel. Hang on to that policy. When mine comes back, we'll compare apples to apples. And then, if it comes back the way I think it's going to come back, then at that point you can, cancel your policies and you know what you got.
Okay, that sounds good.
Done deal. That's it. There's only five scenarios. There's five scenarios for life insurance. There's single, no insurance. There's married, no insurance. There's some form of whole life, some form of term, or work coverage. That's it. You just got to learn the scenarios. Those are unteachable. Ian Bruckner goes through every single one of those, and they're easy. For some reason, I never transcribed them, and I don't know if I've just watched them so much, or it's my previous adventure in insurance. It's just stuck, but I never had to share it. So or I've never had to transcribe it, sorry. Question. And I know Mike's on mute, so I don't want to keep bugging him, but based on the script is a script, right? It hasn't really changed. It's Ian Bruckner's script. I just took a lot of the Ianisms out of it. The ums and all the things that Ian does, it's his little nuances that he does. But based on everything that you've seen, and we've looked at this before, how comfortable are you with this script? Truthfully, scale of 1 to 10. 0, low, 10
No,
being
I
high.
probably 6, 7. It's straightforward. I mean, I would just probably want to read it a few more times so I didn't look like I was reading it.
Like me?
Oh, well, I couldn't tell.
Mm, yeah, I was reading, well, not all of it, but a large portion of it.
Well, yeah, you can't
Mike,
really
where
tell.
where where are you at on it?
Same thing with the QC. I mean, I haven't done one in a while, so it'd be a little sluggish, but the good thing is we have copies of it. And I know on a Zoom, you can actually have it pulled up and reading
Mhm.
it, and the person wouldn't even know. So, but yeah, just
Yeah,
doing it and getting more comfortable with it. You
Yeah,
said you sent those out this morning, right?
I did.
Did you
Yep.
send it to my email?
Yes, I did. Yep.
Okay, I'll check, make sure I got it.
Yeah, if you didn't, let me know. I sent it to you, Julie, Linda.
me.
Uh, yep. Yeah, the big four. So here's my thing, right? Like I'm gonna be totally transparent and a little vulnerable here. I suck with memorization. I say that openly, and like I have no problem with that. I do. If it ain't my words, it's like hell for me. I'm not gonna lie. I've been looking at this script for 5 years, and I still don't know it all the way. I don't. No, it's not all because I haven't. A lot of it's because I dilly-dally, if I'm going to be truthful. Take the honest pill. I don't do enough KTs. I need to do more. But reading it, running it over and over and over again for a few weeks, I probably would have it memorized. I mean, I
As
did the
all of
QC.
us would.
Yeah, yeah. I think I struggle a little bit more with it. It's my kryptonite for sure. KT is my kryptonite. I can sell life insurance all day long. I ain't worried about scenarios and objections and all that. Like I feel really good about that. It's this damn script. So my thing is I put that out here for you guys to understand. Like I've got a long time in the business, like you do, Mike. And I can be honest, Marlene, you're probably better at this than me.
I bet
How
I
about
am.
you? Yeah, I would have no doubt.
I wouldn't even worry about memorizing it because I do better if I've got an outline in front of me.
And I think that's been my hang up, and I think that's a lot of people's hang up in the business. They come in and they want to be masterful at everything right away. And it's been part of my Achilles heel, frankly, if I'm being truthful. And it is getting comfortable with it. Like there's certain things, like even in this, as I read it, like I got hung up on they also awarded us the Delbar Award for 21 consecutive years. Like, yeah, I can read it. I can read this all the way through, no problem, but I don't sound authentic. So I have to get to know it. Once I get to know it, like, hey, so we broker with a company called PFS. Out of curiosity, have you heard of us? That sounds natural because I know it. I've run that line so many dang times. It's the first line in the script. You know what I mean? But if I go further down, you can tell where I haven't gotten comfortable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
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 So you don't want to sound robotic. You don't want to sound like a script because everybody at that point is going to know it's a script. The goal is to deliver this thing as it's your own. You have to make it your own. So you have to either be very good and keep it and remember there's tie downs in there. Hey, you would agree that having a plan is better than not having a plan, right? You got to have that tie down because you're getting their commitment. Yeah, you're right. Okay, well now they can't say I don't want to do it. Well, you just told me earlier, Marlene, that you agreed that having a plan was better than not having a plan. And they can't come back to you later on and be like, "Whoa, I don't want to do it." Uh, yeah, some bullcrap excuse. You tied them down. The other part is like even in the Forbes part. Hey, Marlene, you'd agree, like that's pretty impressive, right? You're getting them to agree, like, hey, all these statistics, these three statistics we just blurted out, is pretty impressive. So they can't come back and be like, I don't know, Primerica, or PFS. I don't know the company. I don't feel comfortable. Well, you did say that you said that was pretty impressive, and you agreed that that was a big deal. So, what's the problem? There's another tie down. Then you're telling them about again, you're getting into what we do. You're telling them about what we do. You're getting them to commit and tying them down to having a plan. You're not going to just jump in your car and head west, Marlene, to go to California, are you? No, you're gonna use a roadmap. You're gonna use a Rand McNally, or you're gonna use what most people in 2025 do is they pop out that little gimmick they got and they punch the number in there and they drive. So you're getting them to commit and tie down. You're tying them down there too. So when they say, it's not really important, or I don't think I need to do a plan. Well, you did say that having a plan is better than not having a plan. You did agree that you wouldn't just get in your car and head west. Makes sense
Hey,
to do this complimentary plan, right? Doesn't cost you a penny.
hey Rob, what is this Del Bar Award?
It's an award given by Forbes magazine for companies, financial companies, based on their strengths and they're basically rated by their clients. So they've got like it's basically like a Google review, but it's done by Forbes magazine for financial.
Okay, so it's not
Yeah.
those letters don't stand for something. It's just what it's called, right?
Yes, it's called the Delbar Award.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll do some. You know what? Let's do it real time. I'm curious now because you bring a good point. See, so the chat GTP said you're referring to the Dalbar Award in context of financial services recognition. Dalbar Inc. is a respected financial services market research firm. It's best known for analyzing and rating the quality of investors' experiences with the financial firms like investment firms, insurance companies, and retirement plan providers. One of Dalbar's most well-known studies is the Quantitative Analysis Investor Behavior QAIB report, which tracks performance of individual investors. Blah blah blah. Forbes is so they're recognized for high quality customer service, client communication excellence, investor experience, performance. So yeah, that's what it rates. So basically what I said there, that's what it is. There's no acronym or anything for it.
Okay,
It's just
thank,
called the Dalbar Award.
got it.
And then let's see. So going to the financial needs analysis, so you're tying them down there. Do you have a plan? Do you have a plan, Marlene? How to get out of debt faster? What insurances are really best? How to save more efficiently? Or are you like most people doing the best you can with what's available through work and piecing some things together on your own? Pause. Wait for them to answer. WFA is wait for answer. Remember, this is where I struggle, another one of my struggles. You don't want to make this become a monologue. This is a dialogue. So these wait for answers, asking questions is important because it's engaging them. They're not tuning out. If you're asking questions throughout, it's keeping them glued in. If I'm ADHD, if somebody was just running this crap off to me and wasn't pausing and making it interactive, I would be staring at the paint. To be
Yeah,
honest, most people are ADHD. So again, keep in mind that's my weakness. Again, slow down to speed up. Make sure that, I do it with people all the time. I did it even with Marlene. You started to say something and I just kept rambling. And I caught myself. I paused, but I didn't. You've got to practice that. Again, dialogue, not a monologue. Um,
makes sense.
so yeah, so you're tying them down again. So you don't have a plan right now. Marlene, see, I added your name. Marlene, you would agree having a plan is better than not having one, right?
Yep.
Boom, tied her down. Now she can't come back and be like, yeah, no, we got you. Tied you up. You got a big old bow on your wrist now. You're tied like that.
Hey, it's free,
It's
The
free.
reason most people, well, not most people, well, I would imagine the reason a lot of people don't have a plan is because it it's costly.
1,000 to 1,500 bucks.
Yeah.
It's expensive. So then you go into now, hey, Marlene, good news. I want to set up that plan and create that plan for you. Now, according to consumer reports, now you're creating the value. You're telling them why this is important. Hey, we're going to give you this plan complimentary, but just know that consumer reports, the average financial planner charges somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500 to do this very written plan for you. Okay, but I'm going to put it again together for you free of charge, Marlene. Now, because I'm doing it, I am going to ask you for two things in return. I'm going to ask you to refer me to 3 to 5 married people. Ian used to have 5 to 10. I always thought that was an overwhelming number for people. Like if you say 5 to 10, like, oh shit, I got to find 5 to 10 people to send this guy to. But if I say 3 to 5, now they're like, oh, okay, I'll send them to
Yeah.
my
No
kids.
big deal.
Yeah, it's a little more. Now, of course, we can keep prodding them for more, and we'll talk about that in the future when you're getting your referrals on the back end, because everybody forgets to get those referrals that we asked for. I'm going to show you how not to forget the referrals. I'm good at getting referrals. I do it with all my clients. I'll call my clients up all the time and be like, hey, I need a referral. Who do you know? And I just got one about a month ago from one of my clients. I reinstated her policy and I got her brother. I'll take it. Ain't no shame in the game asking for some help. Okay, so now that you did that, you tie them down, ask them for the 3 to 5 married people, age, children, home, occupation, macho. We would find the same benefit that you did, Marlene. And then you just reiterate, like, look, listen, if you don't see value in the plan, this is not a clear improvement, Marlene. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you for any of these referrals. I can ask you to move forward with anything. Is that fair?
Sounds fair to me.
There you go. Now you said, hey, you reassured her, like, don't worry, I'm not going to bug you. But if this is not clearly an improvement, we're good. Don't worry about it. So now she doesn't feel any pressure because a lot of people are like, ah, you ain't gonna come back with anything better. But when they see the debt stacking, they see the F&A roll out, most people are like, boom, because it's basic concepts, but it's stuff that the common person doesn't apply or even knows about. So there you go. And then there you go. Then you move into the life situation. Like, out of curiosity, oh, I'm sorry, you go into telling them how long it's going to take. I always say 20 to 30 minutes because I do my F&As before I get with the client. But if you want to do your F&A live with the client, a lot about an hour. I always say an hour. I don't like doing them in front of the clients. If I can get their information and put it together, I'll still roll through it with them and explain everything page by page. There's four tabs, but most of the time I like to just do it prior to. Now, there is a con to that. The con, I heard somebody say, if you do it prior and meet with them, it's great. Maybe it goes a little faster. But if you do it live, real time with them, they see how easy it is. It's plug and play. You're plugging the numbers. They see the simplicity of it, and then you can recruit them on the back end. Now, anything I did there, did that seem like super difficult, Marlene? She's gonna be like, no. So let me ask you, if I could show you how to do this, make an extra 15 to $2,000 a month extra on the side, very part-time, would you have some interest in doing that? She just might. So there is pros and cons to doing it in front of them. So it's up to you. It just depends. If it's somebody I don't right off the rip that I don't think that I would even recruit, then I'm not even going to ask them. I'm just gonna do their F&A by myself. Now, the one thing at the end of this, after you close up the life insurance with them, okay, say we do the life app. This is not in the script. This is on the back end. I'm going to add it to the script. So you close the life app with them. You take the life app, do your A diagram. Do you guys know how to do an A diagram?
I don't know. So I guess I don't.
So we'll work on that. So A diagram, just to give you ideas, you on a P, we used to do it in person. So you draw a big A. Oh, my damn pen doesn't work. Draw a big A on the paper,
Uh-huh.
and then you give them the scenario. We're gonna apply. It's gonna go, and I'll walk through it more in detail with you as we go on with this. But you draw a diagram. Basically, it's a visual to show them what the application process looks like,
Oh, okay.
and then it just helps close. It's a tool to help close.
Okay.
Now, at the end, once you're done, this is where you get your recruiting chops. So if I'm sitting across from Marlene, I'll say, hey, Marlene, be remiss if I didn't ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, based on everything you've seen tonight, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low, 10 being high, where would you see yourself of having any level of interest of maybe getting licensed and maybe coming into the business? And then she'll give you your answer. If she's below a 7, just say, hey, I appreciate your candor. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you anything more about it. Just figured I'd ask that question. If she's a 7 and 10, 10, 11, 12, 20, whatever, you might want to plant the seed to try to recruit her. Or if she really is high, you may want to take the IBA right there if you can. So there's always a recruiting opportunity on the back end of a kitchen table. Always. And guess what? It's not hard to convince them. They just see the value. Right?
You are right. I'm writing that onto the script.
Yeah, I'm gonna tweak it a little bit and I'll send it back out, but write that down and just kind of keep that food for thought,
Yeah.
and what I want to do is really over the next, like, I need some foxhole buddies. I need some foxhole buddies when it comes to this script because I want to master it. I am hell bent on being the very best kitchen table in the business. So I'm going to, and you got to put your flavor into it, right? Your personality.
Yep.
Everybody's personality is a little different. I'm a little eccentric and wild sometimes, but I mean not John Cooper style, but I'm definitely I'm a bit of a comedian at times, and I like to insert a little humor here and there is something, and just enthusiasm. I think I'm more enthusiastic. I try to be, and that's where you got to figure out where your tone is, where you're at. In certain parts, you got to lower your tone. You know, you do have life insurance, right? And kind of lean in type of thing. I used to love that because that's how Ian would do it. It's great. Like you do have life insurance, right? You know, it's the facial expression, it's the tonality, it's all that. So you just gotta, it's just practicing. We're going to Hollywood here, folks, and we're gonna master it. So we need some. What do the actors get? The Emmys, Emmys, right? I think Grammys is for music.
Oscars, Emmys, yeah.
Yeah, Oscars. We're going for an Oscar here. That's what.
All
So we got to get masterful with it. So what I'm gonna do is like once a week, twice a week, pop up. I'm gonna throw it up on Zoom. Like, who wants to run the KT with me? And it doesn't matter. You can get on, don't want to get on. Don't matter to me. If I got to run this damn thing by myself, I'll do it by myself then. I'll stare right in the camera and I'll record myself. I don't care. But I'd like to get some foxhole buddies and get everybody on board. Let's practice it. You know, you guys know the QC enough, and you guys and we'll work on do the same thing for the recruiting script. It's important. We got to become masters because your biggest fear of getting in front of people, at least for me, I think for most people, definitely for Rob, is I don't want to look like a jackass. I don't. I
Yeah.
want to be. I want to be.
No, nobody does.
Believe it or not, Marlene, you'd be very surprised. There's some people that come into the business that they have no fear, and I salute them. I don't know how they do it. I am terrified to look like an idiot. Some people will come on and just they don't care. I've seen a couple come in the business. They didn't care. They just threw crap against the wall until they figured it out. It's like a pro and a con there. You know what I mean? You don't want to burn through your market. You don't want to burn through a good market either. Now do that on some cold calls, like set some up cold appointments up and run them. Who cares? There's some Facebook people. Those are cold people. They're not hot. But when you're prospecting in person, those are warm. Those are warm because you have a physical interaction with them. If they're people from your circle, those are hot and warm. So you don't want to blow through those good markets. You want to use those for experience. You want to use the cold market for the experience, to gain the experience, because they're a shot in the dark anyways. You know, but
Yeah,
makes sense.
makes sense.
All right. Well, it's been about an hour. Did you guys let me take the screen off here real quick. Y'all can see me. All right.
Yep.
Did you guys find value in the hour that we shared together there, going over
Yeah.
that?
Absolutely. I did.
I did, yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we're getting value, out of all these when we do them.
Well, and I mean, just being exposed to it, even though, you did it, but being exposed to it and you give it some flavor that yeah,
Yeah.
no, I thought it was pretty. My dog. Oh, jeez. You're a pig.
I love it. I love it. So you're right. I ran through it. You guys got to see it. Now,
Yeah.
here's where it's
Yeah.
going to get interesting. Some point, I'll throw it out on Telegram. You guys all vote. Some point between tomorrow and the weekend, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna put it up for 1 hour. Whoever wants to jump on, jumps on. And I'm gonna try to let everybody vote so I can kind of get more people. Like they say, hey, if 2 o'clock at this day works good. I'm gonna put some selections up there. We're gonna run it. Whoever gets on, I'm gonna take a volunteer who wants to run it and run it. And then Mike and I, or Marlene and I, will let Mike run it, or whoever's on, and we'll kind of take an overview of what they did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Good.
how we're gonna
Yeah.
get done.
Sounds good.
All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate you joining me. I am gonna put this up. I'm gonna look like a total clown because I know I sounded like a clown on some of it.
No, you did a good job, Rob. And this is what we need. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a bummer for me because it's in the middle of the workday, so it's hard for me to participate in it. But it's definitely something I got to practice and get comfortable with, so I can run it.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
Murph. We're gonna do some night ones. Don't worry, it's gonna be 8 o'clock.
Well,
8,
yeah,
9 o'clock.
I'm the only one that doesn't have a job, right?
You have a job. You got to keep all of us in line. What are you talking about?
You got a job. You're a business owner.
I I could do that with the hands tied behind my back.
That's awesome. So, all right. Well, y'all have a productive rest of your day. Practice your scripts. Let's get good. Throw that flavor in there. Marlene, I want to hear some of that Marlene flavor in that script next.
All right, I'll have to practice that.
All right. I'll see y'all later.
All right.
Take care.